Hello and welcome to Lesson 1 in Internet Marketing in Plain English for over 50 entrepreneurs. Hi, my name is Richard Grohova and I'm the author of the best-selling book, The Boomerpreneur Revolution, How Baby Boomers Are Turning Their Knowledge into Profits. And I'm also the founder of the Over 50 Entrepreneurs Internet Marketing Video Tutorial Program. Now, I'd like to get on the same page with you, and to do that, I want to quote Peter Drucker. And Peter Drucker says that the purpose of the business is to create a customer. And of course, we want to keep a customer. And he says that we do it with two and only two basic functions: marketing and innovation. So we're going to be creating customers, and we're going to do that through marketing and innovation. Now, there are 7 things that we're going to need in building our business. Number 1, we need a product or service. If we don't have that, we don't have a business. And of course, we need to have a store or an office. And number 3, we need leads. Number 4, we need traffic. And number 5, we need an offer to convert them into a customer. And 6 is the delivery and operations. And 7 is the follow-up. So these are the 7 things that we typically need in order to do, number 1, create a customer, and to do that through marketing and innovation. We need these 7 things. So in this program, I want to talk to you about 2 things: BTI, before the internet. Now, when I talk about BTI, the things I'm going to use here are still in play today. They didn't go away. People are still using them, and they're using them effectively. I just want to use these things as a leverage, as a bridge to understand ATI, which is after the internet. So I'm building a communication bridge on things that you and I understand and know, and then leveraging that or building that bridge over to this new language of after the internet, so that we can understand what it is, and you're going to be surprised at how much you already know. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I want to talk about the buying process. So the step 1 in the buying process for our customer, remember our goal is to create a customer, is that there is a moment of truth. And the moment of truth is when the customer has gotten to a point that the problem is bad enough that they decide they're going to take action. I mean, it's like, when do you need a new refrigerator? When it's not working, right? Or perhaps you're moving and you're getting in a new kitchen and you want to upgrade. Or you might be remodeling the kitchen and you want to update your appliances. Or you know what? You're tired of that avocado green refrigerator and you want to get stainless steel. Now, there's a number of reasons that we do what we do, but it's based on a moment of truth. And this is not some salesperson coming to them and telling them, hey, you need a new refrigerator. This is something that we know. Those days of somebody coming in and trying to sell us something we don't need, well, that's long gone. And if someone's in there trying to do that, I guarantee you that you are not going to be happy with that salesperson. You're going to tell everybody you know how disappointed you are. So the moment of truth, just to recap this, is when the problem has gotten bad enough that the customer decides to take action. Now, to use this metaphor, I want to begin with something that you and I both know well, and it's the yellow pages. I'm going to talk about that before the internet, even though they're still here today. Now, I have a BMW. So let's say that I want to go and get a tune-up. But I've decided that I want to save a few bucks, and I don't want to go to the dealer because I know I'm going to have to pay for the overhead. So I've got a problem. My problem is my car, my BMW, needs a tune-up, and the other problem is I don't want to pay a lot of money. I want to be able to get somebody who understands what they're doing, do a good job, but not pay the big bucks that I would have to pay from the dealer. So I open up the yellow pages. Now, when I open the yellow pages, I can't go to BMW Tune-Ups, Birmingham, Alabama, because that's where I live. I have to start with first automotive. Now, when I get to automotive, I'm going to start with the A's. It's going to talk about, auto dealers. It's going to talk about air conditioning until I get to the part where it's going to talk about automotive repair. Now, when I'm in repair, I'm going to look for a listing that appears to me that they specialize in BMWs or in German cars. And then I'm going to take another action. Now, I want to talk to you about what's that like in an ATI world. And you could already probably figure it out. It's going to be that we do what everybody else does. We go online and we search. Now, here's the interesting thing. I enter in BMW tune up Birmingham, Alabama. So, what the ATI component of this, what it enables us to do is that it's much easier to search for what we want, the result that we're after based on the problem, instead of using the yellow pages. But in essence, it's the same thing, isn't it? We're searching for someone who can help us to resolve the problem that we currently have or the goal that we want to obtain. It just depends on what's going on for us. And that brings us to something that's called criteria. Now, criteria are words and phrases that have meaning to the individual. It means something to me. And based on that, that's what I'm going to search on. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because think of the different ways someone could have searched online to get their BMW tuned up. It could have been BMW automotive specialist. It could have been BMW tune-up. It could have been BMW mechanics. It could have been BMW automotive specialties. The point I want to make here is that the words and phrases, which is criteria, have a meaning to me, the individual. Often what happens here as a new business owner or an old experienced business owner is we think that how we search is how everybody else searches, and it's not. People do it different ways, but there are something called keywords. Now, in what I just described to you, BMW is a key word. Now imagine how many people will search for BMW on the internet. It's quite a few. So it's important to understand the keywords that your customers or potential customers are using to find you on your business. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is that before the internet, when I was on the using the yellow pages rather, have you ever noticed that the first thing you see when you look on whatever you're looking for is that it has A1? And then the next listing might be AA111 in the name of the business. And then it goes to AAA111. There's a lot of A's and a lot of ones. Now, there's a reason for that. And of course, is that they're trying to get their listing in the first page on top. They want to be in the first things that you see, because statistically, people are not going to thumb through all the way to the Z's. And after the internet and the ATI, that's the same idea. And these are called organic searches. It's the same idea that when you search online, that you're going to show up or your company's going to show up first. And how does that happen? Well, it goes back to those keywords. It's based on the keywords and how people are searching is when you do what you do, and I'm going to talk about in a little bit, but this is the idea of trying to get your company, your business listed first or on the first page or the second page of Google or Bing or Yahoo, whatever it may be. Now, the whole idea, of course, is placement. The goal is I want my listing. I want it on the first page. I want it to be the first one. In the internet world, it's called search engine optimization, just like it sounds. It's that it's based on keywords. Now, there's a thing out there that you get penalized. It's called keyword packing. So you can't just say BMW a zillion times in your website and hopefully that's going to show up. You have to have other things in there because Google, as an example, has some very sophisticated software algorithms in how they search. So they're searching on things like the keywords for sure. They're looking for other websites that link back to yours. They're looking at videos on YouTube. They're looking at images. There are a lot of things that have to be considered to get you on the first page of Google. In the yellow pages, what it matters is how many A's and ones do you want to put on your listing to get to your company on the top page. All right, so you got it. You got the idea of how these two work in a before the internet world and an after the internet world. But let's keep on going, because what happens in the BTI world, I'm in the yellow pages and I see a listing. I finally get to something that says European cars or specialist in something or other. that I'm looking at, and then it'll have a little thing on the side and it says see ad on page whatever. So I go to that page and I see the ads. Well, I'm also seeing not only the ad of that particular company or business, but I'm seeing everybody else's. So it actually gives me an opportunity to say, hey, I saw that listing, but this ad over here looks a little bit better. Maybe I want to go over there and use them. So that's your competitor that you're helping to fund by putting it in. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just pointing out that that's the way it is. So again, let's just recap. So I go into Yellow Pages and I have a major category of search. I have to subcategorize that search. I get to a listing. I'm not quite sure if this can solve my problem. And then there's something that says see ad on page something or other. I go to that page and now I'm looking at the ad, which helps me to decide, does that business, are they able, as from appearance's sake, are they able to solve my problem? So what happens on the internet? On the internet, over on Google, is there something called AdWords. Now, these are the boxes that you see on the right-hand side of a search page on Google. Now, you also see what's highlighted in yellow on top, and these are AdWords. They rotate. But notice in the Google search, it says beginner yoga classes. And you can see that what's showing up has yoga for beginners, or there's beginners inside. That's one of their keywords inside the content of their website. So it's the same idea. The idea is, how do I get my ad on the first page so that you would click on it in the case of Google and then get to my website? On the Yellow Pages, what I'm looking for you to do is not click on my ad, but is to call me. There's the phone number, or come see me. Now, after the internet, of course, a lot of these ads on the Yellow Pages is going to have the URL of a website, but you can't click on it. Now, you can't click on it because now you find the Yellow Pages is online. But this is taken away from what I'm trying to teach you here. What I want to teach you is you already understand this stuff because you know how to use the Yellow Pages. You really have the foundation of what's happening on the internet. So again, ads over here, AdWords over there. So what's the goal? Well, the goal is I want you to come to my store. If you're in that BTI world, even though it could be an ATI kind of setting. Now, on the ATI side, it's saying, look at my store online. Now, there's a reason why I'm showing it here on a smartphone. It's because there are three things we never leave home without. We never leave home without our purse or our wallet, our keys, and our smartphone. And 92% of people are going online on their smartphone to look at local stores or local offices. And there's a likelihood if they find your store online is that there's like, if I remember the number right, it's like 66% will probably do business with you. So it's a huge conversion. So the idea here is we're doing all this stuff to be able to get you to come to either to my website or to my store or both. Now, just a quick recap. So the moment of truth in a BTI is find. I wanted to find someone to help fix my BMW, get a tune-up. In the ATI, it's search, right? I'm finding stuff in the Yellow Pages. I'm searching for it online. Criteria equals keywords. Now, the idea here, of course, it's the criteria of the words or phrases that are important to me. And based on that is the keywords. And we already talked about how important they are. And of course, placement. And the placement on the Yellow Pages is the A1 or the AA1. I want to get there first. Search engine optimization is trying to optimize your website so when they search using their keywords, you're going to come up on that first or second page of Google. And then for page ads in the Yellow Pages, it's AdWords on the internet, in this particular example, Google. So what are your action steps? Well, your action steps is find your niche. Make sure you understand your niche. That's really important, or niche. I'm just going to go ahead and refer to it as niche. And then understanding the demographics. Who is your customer? How old are they? What kind of income, where they live? All these things are important in understanding how they're going to find you and how you're going to be able to talk to them. Again, using AdWords keyword tool, it's a pretty cool tool. It's free. You can go in there and use it to figure out some of the keywords that your potential customers are using. And then there's Amazon. Now, the reason I'm telling you to go to Amazon Books is to find out if there's books there, kind of see if what people are looking for. That'll give you some more ideas on the kind of keywords that people are using to solve their problem, and ask. It's like I said, it's not based totally on my criteria on how I would search for my own business. It's how other people are going to do it. So ask your friends, ask some of your customers, what are the words? How did they find you? How did they search? So that gives you even a better idea. So let's do a quick recap here. When we search, it's a result of the moment of truth. And this is when your customer decides to take action to solve a problem. And what do? They do what we all do. They're going to go online and they're going to use their keywords. Now, you could do all these things I just gave you, but I've created a training module for you to make it that much more easier. And module 1, it's called How to Find Your Customers' Keywords, and it teaches you in 5 lessons the steps to find and use your customers' keywords in your marketing, online and offline. Now, again, if you're interested in that, I've got a link underneath this, and you can go over there and take a look at the different modules. I made it very inexpensive so that you can get started. But stay tuned, because tomorrow we're going to be talking about something I call the virtual front door. So I will see you in the next video.